Hello, welcome to the Cheetah Academy. My name is Grant. In today's lesson, we are going to be looking at how to create a table in HTML, and I will try as much as possible to make this video very short. Now, creating a table, creating your web page in general is more like you're building a house. You start from the foundation and the rest of that. So HTML is the last foundation when building your house. So the CSS is kind of beautifying all you've built. You know, you finish building your house, you want to paint it, right? And all those stuff. So I will actually impute some CSS stuff to beautify the table, all right? Let will make the table look neat, kind of. So you just pay attention and I'll carry you along. So let's just define some important components in HTML. So here's the style. The style tag, the CSS, whatever you're going to do in CSS, whatever we're going to input in the table to beautify the table anyway. In all the CSS, whatever stuff you're doing in the CSS is going to go in between the style tag. First of all, let us write our HTML code. So since we are creating table, right? Let's use the table tag here. And TR, which stands for table row, stands for table row. Now, we still have TH. This is for table head, like the head section of the table, you know, where you, the content of your table head. So this is where you write the content of your table head. So we're just going to use, let me use let's say primary 1, right? Don't forget we're trying to define the table head. So I'm just going to copy this, right? And let's make 3 of those, right? Primary 1, 2, and 3 for the table head, right? Now, after the table head, we also have what we call the table data. These are the data now that will come, you know, under the table head. These are data that will come under a table head. So we still use our, let's open our table row. Now, our table data. Now, this table data, you know, are data that will come, you know, under the head, table head, all right? So we're just going to put names. Let me just say names of people in primary 1, 2, and 3, right? Let's just put names. Let's just put random names, right? Let me say Samuel. So I'm just going to copy this. And we'll duplicate this into 3. Since we have the table head is in 3 sections, right? So the table data should also be 3 sections. Samuel. And let's call you. And the third one, let's call you. Let's say Onyinyechi. So this is the first table data. Let's also, this is the first line for the table data, right? Let's move into the second line. you have to indent it to, make your work kind of clean. So here, let's also put let's say mic. Here, let's say OBS. Let's call here Daniel. So this is second table data, the second row in the table data. Let's move down to the third row. All right, let's still impute more names. Let's put Ozo here. Let's call here Grant. And here, let's say let's call here Denzel. Or let's call here so this is, let's call here Freeman. All right. So what's going to happen is that, well, it's very important whenever you're coding, kind of, you try as much as possible to always, check some of the stuff you're doing. You check that on your browser and see, so you can see the interface of how your web page is looking or whatever, you understand? So let's just save this. Let's go to our browser and see how it's looking. All right, this is how it is looking. Let me zoom out. So this is how it's looking, right? So this is just HTML for you. This is how HTML, this is how it's supposed to be, all right? Now, to beautify our table more, we need to impute CSS. We need to, start imputing our CSS files in it. Here will be body, right? Let me finish it up. All right, so we are done with the HTML part, but now we need to, put borders in order to separate these classes, the primary 1, 2, 3, and we can do that with CSS, using CSS. So let's go to CSS. We'll go to the style tag. Like I told you, in CSS, whatever you're doing is going to come in between this style tag, the opening and the closing style tag. So whatever you're styling in this HTML will go there. So first, let's let's say the table, let's give it a width of let's give it a width of 40%. Assuming it's too small, right? Assuming the table is not big, this 40%, like the table is going to take 40% of the screen, or better still, the web page is going to take 40% of that. So if you're creating the table, it all depends on, how you want your table to look like. You can always define that using the width. The next thing we're going to define is the table head and table data. We're going to define the table head and the table data with TD. So table head and table data, we're going to put in our border. Let's put in our border. Say our border, let's give it a 1 pixels solid black. The next thing we are going to do is the padding. Let's give it a padding of 6 pixels. So we're going to save this. Let's save this and see how it has affected our table. All right, this is what it looks like. And there are other things we can still do here, like the border now. You can see that we need to create a single border here, here. We need to create a single border. It's kind of double, it's kind of boxed in. So let's just separate that. And right, so what we're going to use here is there's something we call border collapse. We use border collapse here. So we say collapse. So let's save this and see if there is any change. All right, perfect. That's exactly how I want it. So what else are we going to define? There are still some other things to define and to beautify the table. So this is the work of CSS. CSS just basically beautify the table for you, right? There is one other thing we can also do to this table. Let's assume that we're making this a small table. Let's assume you're making a very, lengthy table, like a table with lengthy data in it, whereby it's kind of let's assume that a table has a lot of data. There is something you can always do to, whoever is reading your table or the data imputed in your table will kind of, will be more focused. It won't be kind of random. I don't know how to put it, but let's use nth-child. There's something we call nth-child. You're going to see the effect. Let's do this. Let's say tr nth-child. Tr nth-child. Let's call it even. Let's say even. So this nth-child, let's give it a background color of a background color of, let's say, light gray. Right? So light gray. Yeah, let's save this and just see what the changes look like. So here on our browser, if you refresh the browser, so this is the work of the nth child, right? At least it helps the reader, whoever reading your data, to focus or pay attention to whichever, role he or she is reading. It helps you pay attention to it. I think I got the Amarachi. Let me correct something. The Amarachi is wrong. All right, saved. So this is basically what the nth child will do for you. So we can still expand this table. Remember I told you that you just have to set the percentage. Let me assume that you feel that the table is too small, whatever. You want to make it bigger, you can just say 60% here. Go here, refresh. And there's a little bit bigger, right? So this is just all about it. So I'll see you in my next class. Please do well to, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I promise to put up more beautiful content. All right. You have a good day.